apart or a little bit wider if you need that extra stability. Arms loose at your sides. Just gonna kind of relax, okay? Sink those shoulders down and just eye gaze straight ahead. We're gonna take a deep breath in first. We're gonna inhale through the nose, fill the ribcage with air, then exhale sigh. Again, in and out. Shoulders should stay away from the ears, and the ribcage should expand like a cylinder, think, or a balloon. So it's not necessarily going up, but it's going out. Last one, hold. We're gonna take a big breath in. Arms are gonna come all the way up, and then out with a soft bend at the elbow. In and up, same breath, but we're adding the arms. Bending elbows first time just to kind of get our shoulders ready. One more time. All right, here comes our first cervical range. Tilt, lateral flexion. Over to the side for 2. And up for 2. A peppy song to start us off, even though we're doing stretching. Stretching should feel energizing, right? So, a little techno-y, EDM-ish stuff. Awesome. Again. Maybe go a little bit further. And a little bit further. And head center. Do the breaths again. We're back to the top. So into the nose. When you exhale, you sigh. Just open the mouth and just let the air come out. In and up. And then out and down. Inhale. Just rise. Exhale. It sinks. Big inhale, arms up overhead. And out. Again. You can straighten the arms a little bit more this time if you feel like the shoulders are okay. Inhale. Good, one more. Next cervical range of motion, warm up. Rotation. Look, over towards your shoulder. Come back in. Same thing, other side. And remember, you don't want to force it. We're not trying to get the shin right to your shoulder. Just look towards the wall. One more. Back to the top. Big inhale, fill with air. One more time. And out. That's it. Big breath. And out. Take 2 more. And just as slow as you inhaled, as slow as you exhale. Pace. In. And out. Add your arms overhead. Make it straightest. And out. Good. Again. In, out. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Got one more. All right, your last one here. Last movement is flexion extension. You nodding yes. So chin comes down towards the chest. Then look ahead. Then look up and ahead to start. So again, we're not trying to force the chin right to the chest. This first round, we're really just looking down on the floor. It can be ahead of the feet if you like. And when we look up, we want it to look ahead first and then gradually start to look overhead. Last one. Look ahead. All right. Rotate. To the side. And you're just going to let your arms swing low and loose. Bend at the elbow. One hand coming around towards your hip, the other hand to the back. Back of the hand touching the glutes. Try to keep the legs still so you're not twisting and turning or pivoting. 2 more. Last one. You're going to bring one arm across, touch opposite shoulder, hold with the rotation. And then release and switch with the rotation. Again, swing and switch. Just let the arms go behind. Do that rotation. This one to the front, just swing forward and back. We're going to take one leg forward, keep it width. Arms out front, fingers together. From the side looks like this. Rounded elbows. Then turn and press. Come back in and switch. So keeping leg wide. Then from the side looks like this. Arms out in front, hugging first. And then turn and press. rotate. So this time you're gonna reach a little higher. Instead of at the hip and the butt, you're gonna try to think side to waist and low back. This time hold and hold. So same with the rotation, but no, this time you're gonna try to get your hand a little more over the shoulder, swing and switch. So if you're not ready for that, swing and switch, you would just touch the shoulder. And one more time, swing and switch. Again, if you can put the hand right over the shoulder. And then to the front, release, give it a little swing, step forward. Take a longer stride this time. So you're just doing regular stride, just go back a little more and lean into the front leg. So start at a knee bend, more in front. And then turn, push, and even more lean. You can hold a wall, that's another option. Okay, another option. Press against the wall, come on up, switch, same thing. Take your foot forward, longer stride, and start the lean into that front foot. Keep both feet flat. Then turn the hands around, lean more. Alright, you're gonna come back up and in. Rotate. This time, you're gonna try to touch the shoulder. And the hand watch in the back is coming high. So we have touching the butt, first round, second round low back, and now you're just trying to bring your hand up as high as you can in the back without it bothering you, okay? Last one, hold. Now, this time bring the hand over and then push. Option if you can get it over and pull. We're gonna swing and switch, no rotation, same hand. So you can touch your shoulder, you can bring palm back, or you can bring your hand as far back as you feel comfortable. Swing and switch. Again, you can push and then you can get around pull, great. Release and swing, switch last time. So either push, come around and swing, pull. Awesome, release. Remember that lunge we did before? We're gonna do one more time. Biggest stride you got. Long, long, long. Balance on the ball of your foot. That's how far back you want to be. And you're going to bend that back knee. And then hands are going to come behind the head. Squeeze your back, open chest. From the side, trying to open up and stretch your torso, stretch your hip flexor. Let's switch. Take your leg really far back. Balance on the ball of your foot. Go into your hug with the finger clasp. And then bend that back knee. Hands behind and open. Elbows are pulling back. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Pull them down. And release. Come on up. Good. Shake it out. Same idea. Swing it and hold. Can you get right into the pull the second time around? Swing, switch. Again, swing and switch. So we're trying to increase our range. 3 rounds. It's round 2. Awesome. Little swing. Step into your deep lunge. Really far back. Follow the foot. Hands over. Bend the back knee. And now if you're feeling good, start to tilt and then look up where the wall and ceiling meet. Come back upright. Release and switch. Really long lunge. Follow the foot. Got that hand. Bring it behind. Bend that back knee. And then arch the back slightly. So we're on round 2. We don't need to go really far back yet, okay? Last one, come up, release, shake it out. Last time, big tricep stretch. So we'll come up and we'll add a side bend on this 3rd round. Come back to the center, swing and switch. Right into the hold and side bend. Focus on bending, think at the ribs. Push those out. Last one. And if you're not ready to hold, you can always still push the arm and do this. Works. Awesome. Release. Get a little shake into your deep lunge. So the 3rd and the last thing we can do is an option. We've got this. We've got this. Option to let the arms open. Palm up. So rotate. And the biggest arch in your back. You've got the feel that stretch. Front of the thigh, hip flexor. Come on, back up. Switch. Set up your deep, deep lunge. Follow the foot balance. Hands. Again, you can bend the knee and bend elbow. And if you want, open up the hands. Turn so your palms are up. Let me move back a bit. And then look up towards the ceiling. Round 2, you were looking where the ceiling and wall meet, right? So progression. And then come on up. Shake it out. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go down to the floor. So we're gonna get into a 90-90 bend with the knee. Okay, so what you want, so again, 90 degrees here, 90 here. So we're gonna go into a lunge forward, just like we did when we were standing. Again, another option. If you don't like this and it bothers your knee, stand up and go into the front lunge and do exactly what we did the first time. That's why I like to show it one way so that you have that option always. All right, so we're straight up, head, shoulder, hip, back, knee to start. We're gonna lean and lunge into that front leg. Keep that foot flat on the floor. You can put your hands on your leg. Again, we just did that open arch, so this shouldn't be too bad. Now we might start to feel it in the hip glute, right? Now we're gonna come back and we're gonna go into a hamstring. So we're gonna stay upright this first round, extend your leg, flex your foot, and you're gonna reach. You can touch your leg if you like, you can touch your foot. Same arm, same leg is usually comfortable. Opposite arm is a little more challenging, but you'll feel that hamstring a lot. And then both arms would be your advanced or your top option. Okay, so I'll mix and match between them, but you can go to the one that you need right away. So let's dynamically move through those 2 stretches. So come on up, bend your knee, lean forward. So round 2. And then come on back, extend your leg, decide what you'd like to do for your forward lean. If you're worried about balance, hand on the floor. If you have a yoga block, you could use yoga blocks too, if that helps. All right, one more round on this side. Help yourself up. Back to a 90-90 bend and forward. You hold this forward. Let me just quickly show you what the hamstring transition would look like if you were standing. So this is the move you were doing before. You were leaning into that front leg, and then the hamstring progression would be to bend this back knee and flex. So it's out and in. All right, so let's go back for hamstring. That's your option if you're standing. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do, the transition to the other side. Watch. You can come back up to bent knee for a second if you need to. I'm gonna turn my whole body so that I'm still on the knee and extending my leg to the side, instep towards the floor. We're gonna take the bum back, so you're gonna shift your weight and sit. So we're gonna bring our hands to the floor as if we were on all fours. And then we're gonna try to lower ourselves depending on how we feel flexibility-wise. Forearm is next. So I bend some more at the knee, stick my bum back some more. Good, come on up. If you were on your forearm, you're gonna draw that leg in, cross it behind, and just tap your foot on the floor. So I don't know if you can see, it just kind of looks like that. So watch, from the back, I take my leg out, I take it side, lower down if that's where I feel like I can go. I just sit back if I want some more. Okay, and then everybody, if you're down, you come up. I take that leg, I cross it behind, just tap my toe. Okay, we'll do one more time. And then I just really want to show you what it looks like if you were standing. So again, I would take my leg out. So stay where you are, leg is out. It would look like this, but you'd have a flex foot. And then you need to come up, cross your leg behind, tap your toe, whatever you need for balance. Okay, that's your move. So we are all here now. Okay, so now we come up to knees to switch. So then I take the other leg out so I know which leg I want to do, and we go back to the top. So we're going to turn ourselves and go back to our 90-90 combo. Look at my ugly installation. Oh, that's what happened. We're good, I'll fix it in a second. Okay, so knee over ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, lean. So again, we want that foot to stay flat. It's not wrong if the heel comes up, but I'm looking to really get that glute. And if you lift your heel up, you start to activate the calf too. And so then it takes a little bit away from the glute stretch. Not the end of the world though, okay? But as far forward as you can bring your knee to your toes without your foot coming up. Hamstring. You go back. Flex. Okay, so remember your options. One hand, the opposite hand, both hands. One a little bit more, you're gonna feel that hamstring stretch. The breathing's important, right? Remember our breath. In through the nose and an exhale sigh. Because we want to relax into the stretch. We want the muscles to attempt to relax, sort of. Okay, round 2, come on up. 90-90, lean. Remember, if you're standing, it's a long lunge. And then a sit back hamstring stretch. It's round 2. We go back, extend your leg. Decide what you would like. One hand, the other hand, or 2.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though.
Alright, third and final round. Come back up to 90-90. Make sure you set that up first. And then lean.
'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat.
And then back, hamstring. Take your second, set it up so you feel stable. That's a big part of stretching too, is balance. If you don't have it at first and you're too concentrated on it, you don't get as much from the stretch. Because your brain has many things to think about, and it picks the most important thing, like you not falling over. So it'll work on the balance, and you won't be able to settle into the stretch as much. So, settle, always get your stance and your balance, and then you're good. Come on back up, 90-90. So this is where we turn. Leg goes out, I come down onto all fours. Bum back, forearm. Come on up. Cross that leg behind. It's just a little tap. A little tap. So even though we're not using the hip to extend our leg out to the side, in theory, we're just letting the leg lie out to the side and then putting pressure down. Your hip is still working. It's still squeezing. So we want to start the stretch. Take it out. Come back down, round 2. So remember, you sit back if you're not feeling it. If you have issues with the knee, okay, then you just need to extend that leg a little bit more. If it's bent, you won't feel it as much either, so straightening will help. Awesome, come on up. All fours, cross behind, a little tap. So feel a nice little release there in the side hip. Okay, here's your final one. Leg out. And when you're ready, you can come down if that works for you. Alright, we come on up, all 4, and bring the knees in. Let's do a quick child's pose while we're here, so I'll turn sideways. Child's pose is this one. And we're going to finish the inner thigh stretch in this position. So you did side with the extended leg out to the side, right? This time we're just going to take the knees and we're going to take them wider and wider. So watch. Come on up. Keep your feet together. And take your knees out just a bit. I would say outside of hips. And then do your child's pose. Now, if you are really flexible and you don't have an issue with turning out, your feet, you could, watch, flex them and sit back. But if that bothers the feet, I want you to focus on inner thigh first, up at the groin area. So don't worry too much. But if you feel like you're not getting anything, turn the feet out. You have one more round where we basically, I call it a frog, right? We call it a frog. So you come up, you're gonna take the feet apart and knees apart, and then come back. And again, here, if you turn the feet out, you may feel a little bit more, but the idea is it's inner thigh into groin stretch. And then we're gonna do the hip stretch that we did prep for, the crossing behind. We're gonna do some figure fours, and that's gonna get us deeper in the hip stretch on the side there. All right, come on up. All fours, bring the knees in, and then turn yourself around. Have a seat, I'll face you. Soft at the knee. And we're gonna take one leg, cross it by the knee. Arms are gonna open behind you. Sit up and pose from the side. Looks like this. Pull it. And you wanna push with your arms. Put your palms down on the floor. You're right up on your sit bones. You're not rounded low back. Eye gaze where the wall and ceiling meet. So no chin tuck. Don't try to look up. Okay, natural position for the neck. Then we're gonna rotate. You're just gonna let the foot fall. However far down you can go without your hands coming off the floor. So if your hand comes off the floor, come back up and only stop where you feel that tension. Okay. Come back up. Extend the bottom leg. Keep that leg crossed over. Turn and hug. So rotation, we're good with rotation. We have done this already. Awesome, we're gonna come back to the center and switch. Figure four, pull up, straight when you're back there. Options, you can lie on your back, pull the legs in towards your chest. Okay, that's another option. And you can still rotate. I'll show you next time around. Extend that leg, keep that one leg crossed, turn and hug. Okay, remember I like to do 3 rounds of things. So that was only round 1. Don't worry if you're not turned a lot or you couldn't get the leg up as easily. And then by the 3rd time, you're all over it. Release and switch, figure 4. So watch, if you're on the floor and this is hard. Okay, sit up, extend the legs, but if you are not sitting up, you would just take your arms out and then rotate or let the legs fall, keeping your shoulders to the floor. If your shoulder turns, it's too much. So maybe put your hand down and acts as a stopper and you can help. A little bit of work for the bicep, that's pretty strong muscle, so you're good, okay? So then you would come back up and then everybody would switch, so you would just switch legs. Yeah, so that's your option. So pull back. Okay, so if you're lying on the floor and you do the rotation, you're gonna hold a little bit longer. Okay, well we do seated rotation as well. And I'll show you how to modify that one. Okay, then we let it go. Keep the hands on the floor. If the hand comes up, it's a little too much. Back to the center. Extend. And then rotate. Alright, so that was round 2. Switch your legs. Round 3, figure 4. And back. That one just slid up there, no problem.
Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more.
And then dip. Now if you're lying on your back, what's going to happen when we go to do this one, you are going to be leaving it down on the floor and just letting that leg come down even more. You can slide the bottom leg out and make it a little bit more intense of a stretch, or just leave it bent. Okay, so this is where we are right now. We've rotated. Come back up, extend the leg, rotate upper body. Okay, so lots of options. Lots of options. Back to the center switch. Final time, figure 4. Remember that eye gaze where the wall and ceiling meet. You want to keep those shoulders away from your ears. Don't let them shrug.
Some trouble.
Squeeze the back. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Pull down. Now rotate. Let the legs fall. Keep both hands on the floor. Even if one arm's bent, as long as your hands stay on the floor and they're not pulled up, you're good to go all the way. And remember, if you're lying down, stay with the feet over and just uncross the leg. Everybody else, bring it up, extend, and then rotate. Awesome. All right, uncross. So we're all gonna sit up. And this is seated forward fold. This is where now you could use your foam roller for a little bit of the hamstring and a little bit of calf. So I take my water bottle. If I don't have a foam roller, maybe I'm out in the park, whatever. And I'm gonna just take it, put it under my calf first, right by my ankle, so it's elevated. And because this one has a little bit of a lip, a handle, I want that up. And then I'm gonna bend my other leg. Again, weight's gonna be back here. That's sort of why we practiced doing that move when we were our last sequence. And we're gonna push forward and pull back. Just enough to get a small area. If this is hard on the wrist, last one, you can come down to forearm and bring it in a little bit higher, so right in the knee, and just bend your knee and flex that way. Okay, so it's not as much pressure on the leg, but I can still feel it because my leg is heavy and I'm letting it sit. Okay, but if it's too hard for this, then by all means lie down, right? Okay, switch your leg. You go this way. Bring it right on this here. Bend my knee, my leg, and I'm gonna roll. Forward and back. You can turn your foot in, you can turn your foot out, get a little bit on the sides. Okay, remember, option would be to forearms. Bend this leg, straighten it. Bend and straighten, small range. You can get down closer to your ankle if you feel like that Achilles tendon gets tight. A little bit of rolling might help. All right, last one. All right, have a seat. And then we're gonna switch and roll a little bit higher. So we're gonna take it up, meaty part, big part of our calf. Same thing. If you want to do hands, go forward, or forearms. Here we go, here we go. 3. The other thing you can do, right, instead of side turning out or turning in, you can point. You can really flex. And you'll be a little bit of difference. Relaxed foot is always base option. Last one. And then we're gonna stop. We're gonna switch. Other leg on. Bend that knee and press. Or we're gonna stretch out through our wrists, our back, triceps again, because if you're up here, it's a lot of work. Yeah. And one more. And release. So, just for fun, put both legs on your bottle just to keep it where you want it. And then let's take the hands. Like that, push the backs of the hands away, so lots of stretching through the forearms. Okay, let me show you. You're gonna take one hand down and pull in. Switch, other hand pull in. And then the hands are gonna clasp again, but go behind your back to the floor. So the floor is your guide. And then we're gonna take it to the front, but watch, you're gonna cross your hands, turn and clasp, and then you're gonna pull. So hunchback, someone's pulling your arms. Good, and release, shake, shake. Tricep, real quick. You know this one. Reach and hold, switch. All right, release. Okay, so now we'll do it one more time. Only difference is we'll just move it up a bit higher. So above the knee now. And then our second round will be closer to the glute. Okay, so same idea. We'll do 4 rolls, switch, 4 rolls, butt 4, and then 2 more stretches. So settle yourself into whatever position you would like. Same thing. Watch when you're lying down. I should show you this, right? So not lying down, forearms. Excuse me. Okay, so it needs to be a little bit higher if you're going to do forearm, so that when you roll, it's not a bent knee. It's a glute squeeze, pelvic tilt, and a release. A glute squeeze, pelvic tilt, and a release. Okay, so it's not a bent knee, or because obviously that will come right up. So glute squeeze, do pelvic tilt, get some pressure, and then release back off. All right, ready? 4 times. 4.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track on my
3.
back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap.
2.
And I'm hating the slack. Couple mans run around like they hate.
1 more.
Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the
Awesome.
front all the
Have
way
a
to the
seat.
back.
Switch. Other leg. Above the knee. Put down low there, right? Bend your knees. Let's go. 4. 3. Same rules. You can turn your foot in, turn your foot out. 1 more. And hey, take it down. Roll up. So we switch sides. Now it's basically high hamstring towards the glute. Bend that knee. Same rules. Up. One more. And then switch. Same direction, same height. Bend the knee. Up you go. And push.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on
And
the
your
track
last
on my
one.
back like I'm taking a slap.
Have a
I need
seat.
a drink, but it's straight from the tap.
Awesome. Take it out. And that's a couple of things you can do with the roller. Imaginary roller, tape roller, temporary roller, whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's just relax the feet out. Hands right here. Let me turn to you. One hand point down. Switch. Hands clasped together in the back, push down. To the front, crisscross, clasp, and pull. To the side, yeah? Upper back, upper back. Perfect. And release and shake. Cool. All right. So that's all I'm gonna do with the bottle, but obviously you can do the same sort of exercise sequence when you're in your prone position. So I'll just show you. If you had your water bottle, you can put it down. Okay, and then you had one leg bent, and you're just extending and bending the leg, right? You can move it up. When you get to your thigh, you have to come down to forearm, and you have to use your upper body to move you forward and back. So you can get some nice rolling going on for the front of the body too. Maybe we'll do that next week, but just give you those options. All right, have a seat up. Bring the feet in, butterfly. Sit right up on your sit bones. So we're gonna add or just work from our upper back hunchback into mid to low back. And for those who are on their forearms doing the rolling, you already were doing pelvic tilt, so you're ahead of the game. We're gonna join you. For now though, sitting right up on your sit bones. Lean forward, lower arm lines up with the lower leg, let your elbow press on your knee as you lean forward. Try to keep the eye gaze ahead of your toes. Squeeze your back, pop your chest, take a breath in.
Don't know what tomorrow holds, but I'm going down the longer road.
And then out.
I've shown that I'm not alone. The path is less appealing.
There's our sequence. Sit up, one leg extend.
Deep down, we've been
Again,
holding regrets, and I'm
same
not about
arm,
to
same
hold it
leg,
over
side
your
C
head.
curve.
Yeah,
Pretty standard. And your third move, up over, big stretch, scoop around, open up through the hip. Come back down, switch,
out of a bad dream. I can't
Not yet.
believe
Back to this. Remember what side you did.
Girl, you find
Forward lean.
so peculiar. You've been
3. So remember, always first round, you're not trying to get to the biggest or most, your max range by any means, okay? You're just settling into the position. Come on up. Extend the other leg. Side C curve. And when I say that, I mean my first round, my hand is on my shin. And then maybe the next round, it might be on my laces. And on my last round, it's grabbing the toe. But everyone's flexibility is different, right? So I'm gonna give you that option though to not take it to the max right away. Here we go, hand comes down, push up and forward, big scoop. So it's that pelvic tilt, you gotta squeeze the glute, press the hips, and then come back down. Back to butterfly round 2. Now my arms are gonna go to the front of my leg, they're still lined up, but I'm gonna grab onto my shoes, and then it's leg and arm, and I'm gonna use my hip muscles to pull my knees out wide. And my eye gaze now is maybe at the ball of the feet. So again, I'm not doing a chin tuck quite yet. Come on up. Extend. Remember what I said for my progression? I'm reaching for my shoelace. Side C. You could also have hands to the floor as a progression. That means your C curve is a little bit greater. And then over. Side plank reach. Open up that hip by squeezing the glute. Open up the front hip, lift the flexor. Come back. Butterfly. Arms to the outside. Lean forward. Eye gaze, ball of the feet. Breathe. And then out. Have a seat up. Leg goes out. Leg in. Round 2, right? So wherever you need to reach, that's just a little bit more than round 1. Back up, over, reach, squeeze your glutes, clench, 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 and down and back. Butterfly, 3rd round, final round. Hands, I'm gonna take them to the outside of my toe, like reach as far forward as I can. And then I want to try to line up the arm with the leg, but there's space now, so it's harder. Option, because here, eye gaze is by your heel, so there's a bit of a chin tuck. Option would be just forward fold, chin tuck, if you don't want to grab and press, okay? Roll up slow, leg out, your greatest range of motion, and your C curve is the biggest one you got. And then it's up and over, push off. Come on back down, we're almost done. Butterfly, last time. Reaching to the outside, lining the arms up. That's gonna tilt me forward. Eye gaze now by my heels. Take the breath. It's gonna feel really tight and you want to relax. Come on up. Leg goes out. Leg in. Over. And out. Over. Push off. Squeeze the glute. Push that hip open. Fantastic. We are almost done. Have a seat. Legs out front. Flex the feet. Reach. Okay, we're gonna try to keep the legs straight. If you can't keep legs straight, take them a little bit wider. But try straight. Okay, we just gotta stretch our quads. So we're gonna do the sequence for this one. It's just gonna be rotating through the waist and into our side profile of our quad stretch. So I've done this one before. So basically, you're going to be going from side to side, seated position. You're going to hold on one side, settle yourself. It's either going to do the reach over, grab the top leg, side, grab your top leg. So we're just working through, still on your sit bones. So we're not doing pelvic tilts or tucking under. And then it's always going to be options within, all right? So if you can, hands are going to be behind Okay, and then soften your elbows. Feet about hip distance apart. Drop them towards one side. Come back to the center and drop. So again, round one of our finishing exercise sequence. Not expecting your legs to touch the floor, but if they do, awesome. Want to keep your hands on the ground. So if your hand starts to lift, it's a little too much for the back. Don't go that far. Bring it over, hold. Now we can lift that arm up and grab that top leg. We want to bring our heel to the glute and do that pelvic tilt. Good, release. Back to the top. 4. Up. 3. Up. 2. Up. Last time, this side. Over, hold. Pick up the leg. So round one is the leg raised. Squeeze the glute, pelvic tilt. Round two, we're gonna put that foot on the floor. But you're always welcome to stay with this, yeah? You have a stretch in front of the eye. Back to the top, round two. Last time. Fold this one over. Grab your leg and then pull it back into the floor. Squeeze your glute. Again, you want to feel that in front of the thigh. Awesome. You're going to grab the leg, help yourself up, place it in position, and we go. 4. Open up the chest, get that leg over. That will help as well. Squeeze your back, pop your chest. Last one over. Hold. All the way over. Grab that top leg. Up in the air first, and option 2 is on the ground. Use the glute, press the hip. Alright, we got one more round. When we get to this, the option will be to lay back on forearm or lay all the way back. Alright, leg comes back into position. Rotate. 4. 3. Thinking about stretching the chest. Last one over. Hold this side, grab your leg, back, floor, and if you feel like it, you can lower to forearm. So what hopefully happened is as you went from each progression, it was a little bit easier to get into it, and then you add a couple of degrees, and you find that there's a little bit more that can be stretched. So that is hopefully what was happening. Alright, last one, help yourself up. Position. 4. Your final set. 3. And I'm also feeling that the knees are going over a lot easier by this third round, so that's always nice. Last one over. Hold this one. Grab the leg. Pull it all the way back. Floor. And if you can, or you like, forearm. Squeeze that glute. Make sure you're feeling it in the thigh. If you're feeling it in the knee, ease up on the leg. The bend, okay? Don't bring it so far. Feel the glute. Maybe take it out. And then push. Okay, this is it. So let's just come up and finish. Just rotations. And that's it. Bring it center. Forward fold. Flex. Reach. And again, if you can't hold the legs straight with the hip distance apart, take them outside the hip. It's all good. And then lower yourself up, sitting position. Take a breath in, arms up overhead. And do the forward fold. Exhale, thigh, sink into it. Roll up nice and slow. And do one more just to settle yourself. And out. And back. Shake everything out.